Futures on the US stock indexes are trading higher amid waning fears over the economic recovery. The US dollar is losing ground in anticipation of more stimulus measures in the United States. Futures on the US benchmark stock indexes are extending a rally as the talks on financial aid in the United States are in progress that lifts market optimism. Besides, investors are encouraged by the news on the vaccine front. The Dow Jones gained 0.81%, the Nasdaq is 0.45% up, and the S&P 500 rose 0.65%. Today, investors are absorbing a series of news from the United States. Last Friday, the US Congress approved a short-term spending bill. President Donald Trump signed into law a funding measure on the same day to alert a partial government shutdown starting this weekend. This measure will enable US lawmakers to continue the talks on a stimulus bill that have been underway since August. Nevertheless, Congress has not passed the bill yet. Investors pin hopes on long-awaited agreement between the parties. The US economy urgently needs financial aid to survive the pandemic-driven crisis. Investors also cheer the news on the vaccine approval. Over the weekend, Robert Redfield, the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, signed recommendations on behalf of the Expert Council to permit the vaccine by Pfizer and BioNTech for emergency use in the United States. It means the official launch of mass vaccination in the country. Today, the US currency is extending weakness, especially against the euro and the pound sterling. The greenback is still weighed down by expectations of a stimulus bill. On the one hand, investors are frustrated by the painstaking talks in Congress. On the other hand, every cloud has a silver lining. The longer the talks are underway, the larger package will be approved to revitalize the feeble domestic economy. The US dollar index shed 0.49% against a basket of 6 major currencies. It's now trading at 90.51. The US dollar is suffering losses against its Canadian counterpart. The USD CAD pair lost 0.33% to trade at 1.2726, which is the lowest border of the downtrend. Last week, the US Food and Drug Administration green-lighted the vaccine by Pfizer and BioNTech for emergency use in the United States. Thus, mass vaccination should have already begun over the weekend. The focal point this week is a policy meeting of the Federal Reserve. The regulator has to take a decision on targeting yields on treasuries. Indeed, the government stimulus bill should be complemented by fiscal measures by the central bank. Interestingly, last week, Tesla stock was included in the S&P 500 after the trading day was over on Friday. That's all for today. We keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and see you tomorrow.